Okay, so for today's lesson, what we are going to do is we are going to set up and solve word problems using systems of equations. And in order to do that, the first thing that you're going to have to do is define each variable that you're using. So we're going to call that write a let statement in order to define each variable, x and y. Set up a system of equations using those two variables. You're going to solve that system using any method you want. The choices are graphing. People don't usually use that one. Substitution. People definitely use that one. Or elimination. People use this one the most. It's always a good idea to check the solution into both equations. So what we have going on here is we've got the sum of two numbers is 28. The difference of those same two numbers happens to be 4. What are the two numbers? So we know what we're looking for. We're looking for two numbers. Let's call x one number. Let's call y the other number. Well, the first sentence basically says the sum of those two is 28, which means x plus y must be equal to 28. The other one says the difference of those same numbers is 4, which means subtracting x minus y should give you 4. You should see how this thing sets itself up really nicely for elimination. So that's the method I'm going to use. So when I add these two equations together, I get 2x equals 32. Divide both sides by 2, and x is 16. Well, if x is 16, I can plug in 16 into either of these two equations and say, well, if x is 16, then 16 plus 12 or 16 minus 12, either one, is going to give me the correct answer. 16 plus 12 is 28. 16 minus 12 is 4. So then the answers are one of those numbers is 16. The other of those numbers is 24. Answers is not written as an ordered pair. It's actually put back into the let statement or written separately. Let's try another one. Mr. Soto buys 6 roses and 4 carnations for $22. At the same store, Mrs. Zobel paid $32 for 10 roses and 2 carnations. Find the price of a rose and the price of a carnation. So let's say that x would be equal to the price of a rose. And let's have y be equal to the price of a carnation. Well, I know that with that first sentence all about Mr. Soto, 6 of those roses, 6x, plus 4 of those carnations, 4y, is $22. Zobel did 10 roses, or 10 x's, 2 carnations, 2 y's, and she spent 32. Well, I can't eliminate right off the bat. Substitution might not be so, I guess, preferable here. I'm going to go for elimination. I'm going to try to eliminate y's. Well, to get y's, I need to have a 4y up top, which I do, and then the opposite of 4y would be negative 4y. Multiply the entire bottom equation by negative 2. Negative 20x minus 4y equals negative 64. So now the equations that I'm going to use to the elimination are these two here in yellow. So it's the original top and the new bottom. And when I combine these or add these together, I'm going to end up with negative 14 x equals negative 42. Divide both sides by negative 14, and x equals 3. So right now I know that a rose is $3. If I want to find out how much a carnation is, I'm going to go for the top equation. I'm going to dump this in here for x, and I'm going to say 6x, or 18, plus 4y is 22. I'm going to subtract 18 from both sides. 4y equals 4. Divide both sides by 4, and y equals 1. So as it turns out, roses cost $3. Carnations cost $1. And this is your final answer. Let's try another one. The second of two numbers is 4 more than the first. The sum of those two numbers is 56. Find those numbers. Well, I'm going to call x the first number, and I'm going to call y the second number. The second is 4 more than the first. y is 4 plus x. Remember, second is 4 more than the first. The sum of those two numbers, x plus y, the sum of those two numbers is 56. So all I now need to do is solve the equation, but this is perfect for substitution. I already have a y equals. Dump that in. So then it becomes x plus what y is equal to, 4 plus x, equals 56. Combine like terms, 4 plus 2x equals 56. Subtract 4 from both sides, 2x equals 52. Divide both sides by 2, and x equals 26. Now when I dump in 26, what comes out, 26 plus 4, is going to be 30. So it turns out that first number is going to be 26, and the second number is 30. Okay, so let's try another one. 250 people attended a movie when ticket prices were $7.50 per adult and $5 per child. If total ticket sales came to $1,525, how many adults and how many kids attended the movie? I've got adults and I have children. If x equals adults and y equals children, I know that 250 people were there. That means the number of adults plus the number of children has a total of 250 people. But then the value of the ticket sales comes out to be that if adult gets charged $7.50 per adult, a child is charged $5 per child. I'm leaving off the 0, it's going to be a total value of $1,525. So in this case, I think I'm going to go by elimination. I think the best thing to eliminate would be the y's. I'm going to multiply the top equation all the way through by -5 to get -$5x. I'll put the zeros in this time just because we're dealing with some money here. Minus 5y ends up equaling -1,250. When I combine that, what ends up happening is $7.50 minus $5 is 2.5x. And then when I 1525 minus 1250, you get 275. Divide both sides by 2.5, and you get x to be 110. That means there were 110 adults. So what I need to do is figure out if there's 110 adults, well, how many kids were there? Well, 110 plus 140, right? 110 plus y equals 250, y equals 140, and those are how many kids are there. So there are 110 adults, and then there are 140 children. Okay. Last but not least, a jar contains nickels and dimes. There are 20 coins in the jar, and the total value of the coins is $1.40. How many nickels, how many dimes are in the jar? We've got nickels and dimes. Let's call X nickels. Let's call the Y the dimes. Well, there are 20 coins in the jar. Coins are comprised of nickels and dimes. So X plus Y equals 20. Well, the value of the coins is $1.40. Now, here's where you got to be careful because nickels are 5 cents. So basically, 5 cents 0.05x plus dimes 10 cents 0.10y equals $1.40. You can choose to solve this by substitution or by elimination. I think I'm probably, in this case, going to go in here to, what am I going to do? I guess I'm going to do it by substitution. I think we've done more eliminations. So let's kind of come over here and say, well, let's solve this thing for y. So y would be equal to 20 minus x. And I'm going to plug in this in for y. So we have 0.05x plus 0.10 times 20 minus x equals $1.40. which means 0.05x plus, well, 20 dimes is $2, plus $2 minus 0.10x, remember we have to distribute, is $1.40. Well, 5 cents minus 10 cents is negative 5 cents x. Whoops, but I did not, oh yeah, here we go, sorry. Do that on the next line. Plus $2 equals $1.40. If I subtract $2 from both sides, negative 0.5 cents x equals negative 60 cents. If I divide both sides by negative 0.05, negative 0.05, I'm going to get x to be 12, which means I've got 12 nickels. So if I've got 12 nickels, boom, how many dimes do you have? And dimes better be 8. So we have a final answer. 12 nickels, 8 dimes. Should make sense because that's a total of 20 coins. And 12 nickels in this case is going to give you $1.40. Not $1.40. That's what we have to come out to. So 12 nickels is going to give you 60 cents. I don't know where that came from. 8 dimes gives you 80 cents, and 60 plus 80 is the $1.40. All right, so that's it. Good luck on the homework.